Most athletes think that their problem is training harder, eating better, or fixing their techniques. But the truth is, most of the time, these problems are actually happening outside of the sport instead of inside of the sport, aka relationships with yourself and relationships with others. That fight with your partner, that rivalry with your sibling or your friend, the beef with your teammate, these are things that are quietly sabotaging your performance. And today I'm gonna be going deep into why this happens, the mistakes that most people run into when they're trying to tackle this, and the exact shift, the mind shift that places you back in control. Here's the truth. Human beings are wired to fight when they spend too much time around each other. Romantic partners, siblings, best friends, roommates, and yes, even teammates. The conflict always comes from the same place, the same source. When we live too close, our identities mix themselves. Self-identity and conjoined identity. Instead of focusing on who we are, we start trying to control how the other person next to us thinks, acts, and feels. Of course, this urge to control then creates avoidance and resistance. That resistance then transitions to tension, and then the recipe for explosion is then activated. But the deeper cause is actually more simple than we think. When we don't have enough control over ourselves, then we try to control the outside, our environment, people, places, and things around us. We try to control others. Think about it. You promise yourself, I'm gonna wake up at 6 tomorrow and train, but then you hit the snooze button 6 times and then you end up not doing it at all. Later that day, your brother next to you eating is chewing too loud and you snap. Was it really your brother's chewing, or was it you breaking your promise this morning? Which one? The less self-control you have, the more you try to control the people around you. In a romantic relationship, you're trying to recover the night before a big game, right? But your girlfriend or your partner says, you never make time for me anymore. You get defensive. Instead of sleeping, you stay ruminating, overthinking. You're replaying the fight, the controversy, the conflict. By game day, your legs are fine, your body is fine, but the focus is gone. All that rumination, all that rehearsing took you there. Sibling rivalry example, your brother throws a jab, you only start because coach likes you. Suddenly, training isn't about growth anymore. It's about proving him wrong. Roommates, your roommate's blasting music at 1 a.m., let's say. You've got practice at 6. Instead of protecting your sleep and setting boundaries, you're yelling through the wall trying to convince him about how he should think, act, or feel. You can set boundaries, but you can never control another. The next day, you're half dead in the field, tired, destroyed, and with low energy. Coach conflict? Your coach is harsh. You spend more time ruminating, resenting his tone, rather than making active gains in your behavior. Something you would be doing if you would be taking constructive feedback. Progress stalls. Teammates? You yell, run faster, but in the process, you forget your own role. You get too centered on telling others what to do, how to think, act, and feel again. Now both of you have compromised your positioning. Same cycle every time. Broken self-control on the inside, then transitions to fighting for control in the outside. When people feel out of control, they reach for fixes that never work, mediocre fixes. Blaming others, it's your fault I'm stressed. Nagging, criticizing, why can't you ever do it right? Do this way, not that way. Escapism, I'll just scroll endlessly on my phone to calm down. Overcompensation, I'm fine, don't tell me what to do. Stonewalling, forget it, I don't care anymore. People pleasing, fine, I'll just do it your way. Or outburst, I can't take this anymore. All of these control games pointed outward. None of them restore the one thing that really truly matters, your own discipline. So what actually works? The fix is to rebuild self-regulation from the inside. Sacrifice first in your day. Training, study, recovery, then compensate with the rewards later. Games, music, social time. Every kept promise builds unshakable control over yourself. Somatic practices such as Tai Chi, Qigong, hypnosis, meditation, these slow movements and thinking train patience and self-awareness. If you can control your body slowly, you can then control your emotions quickly. Heartfulness meditation is one of my favorite. My personal practice at the Veterans Affairs. Upright posture, diaphragmatic breathing, and you focus on the heart, on the heartbeat. It calms anxiety, steadies emotions, and builds presence. Daily habits of regulation, journaling, prayer, natural walks, focusing on your 5 senses while you're walking, and consistent sleep. Regulation is not an event, it is a lifestyle. And when none of that sticks, therapy and mental coaching are next. Sometimes the root isn't today, it's buried in yesterday. That's where regression therapy then comes in. Going back to the initial synthesizing event, uncovering the moment your subconscious wired in that reaction. Then progression therapy carries you forward, detaching from the unwanted thoughts, the emotion, and the behavior. Picture this. Marcus, a 17-year-old soccer player, looks like he has anger problems. One day, a teammate cracks a roast. a roasting joke. Everyone laughs, except Marcus, of course. He's on his feet in a second, face to face, cussing him out. And in the heat of the moment, he trips him to the ground. The whole locker room freezes. From the outside, pure anger. Inside, it was anxiety, a lack of self-control. Marcus was breaking promises to himself. Procrastination, weak discipline, doom scrolling on the phone, poor self-hygiene, poor sleep hygiene. We did 2 regression sessions. He connected with the source of his dysregulation, released it, and built new patterns. Suddenly, he woke up early. He listened to hypnosis recordings daily with diaphragmatic breathing. He prayed and journaled. He crushed homework and training first. He hit his sacrificial goal, then rewarded himself with Call of Duty later, swimming, and music. The result? His self-control skyrocketed. His performance became consistent and elite, not just in games, but in practice every day. What looked like anger was really a self-control issue, which in itself is really anxiety. And once that was fixed, everything changed. So here's your takeaway. Stop trying to control others. Stop blaming, nagging, and projecting. Start keeping promises to yourself instead. Start regulating your body, your breath, and your heart. And if you tried all of that and the problem keeps coming back, that's when you need extra help. A sports psychology coach, a life coach, a therapist. That's when you can do regression and progression therapy. Take you back to the root cause and then detach from it in a healthy manner. That way you can move forward, because the real problem is deep down inside. Sometimes it needs to be highly explored in a deeper level. Whether the problem is anger, self-control, then manifesting into relationship issues, or problem with teammates, coach, teachers, you name it, the real problem is control. You can never control another. You can never control how another person thinks, acts, or feels, but you can control how you choose to react. And once you master yourself, everything else then falls into place. For more sports psychology, coaching, and therapy tips and tricks, please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you again on the next video. Thank you for watching.